it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am so excited for our reading today. So let me just show you our list really quick. This is the next time you're gonna see them. We have so much to be talking about today, and I will go into the details once we pick our groups. That way, like, I'm not repeating myself, but I just wanted to show you that it is a very in-depth reading. So I'm very excited. This is all about the next time you see them. So this is whoever is on your mind or whoever you want clarity about. And this does not have to be romantic. I feel like with this type of a reading, it could really be just anybody. It could be romantic, it could be platonic, it could be family, it could be a long lost friend. It could literally be anybody. So just take the messages however it resonates, but I'll also do my best to give out multiple scenarios. That way I'm not, that way it's not like strictly romantic, but it also kind of depends on the group. I think some groups are going to be more romantic than others, but I just want to say, overall, this does not have to be a romantic reading. So we have 4 groups for you guys to choose from. Each group has a different tarot deck, has a different crystal, and has a different card that came out as I was shuffling. So there could be multiple ways for you to be drawn to a group. And this is also the type of reading where you can probably watch as many groups as you would like, because you could have multiple people that you are asking clarity about. And, there could be multiple people that you're going to see again and you want to know what's going on. So, yeah, you can watch as many as you would like. Let me go ahead and show you your options up close one by one. Group 1, this is the Gilded Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this dark blue obsidian. Your random card is the High Priestess. Group 2, this is the Gentle Heart Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this carnelian ball. And your random card is the Wheel of Fortune. Group 3, this is the Field Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this white aventurine. And your random card is the Ace of Cups. And group 4, this is the Shadowscapes Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this pyrite. Your random card is the World. Okay, you guys, here are all of your options laid out for you side by side. Keep in mind you can watch as many as you would like and take all the time you need to pick a group. I'm going to go ahead and get started with group number 1. Hey guys, if you chose this High Priestess with this dark blue obsidian, this is your group. Hello, group number 1. I'm going to set your crystal right there. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, that was interesting. I saw 11 on my timer, and then when I put the card down, I saw 1, 1, which makes the 2. So that's interesting. Okay, so let's talk about this reading. So this is all about the next time that you see the person you are asking about. So we're going to start off with the current energy. So we're going to see what is your energy, what is your person's energy towards the connection, and then we'll also see what is the energy of the connection itself. We'll go ahead and see what do your guides have to say about this connection. Oh, and the current energy check, that will be your way of knowing if this is your group or not, because, if the energy check just totally does not sound like you, doesn't sound like what you're going through, then definitely check out a different group. Also, I'm getting an image of a meatball sub. I don't know why. I don't know if somebody's eating a meatball sub. I don't know if somebody wants one. I don't know if you're like, if that's something you eat. A meatball sub. It's really coming through very strongly, like marinara sauce meatball sub. I don't know. I'm also vegetarian, so I don't think I've ever even had a meatball sub, but that's just coming through. Okay, what were we talking about? Yes, the current energies. Then we'll go ahead and see what your guides have to say about this connection. And then we're going to go in and see all of these little messages here. We're going to see who will initiate your next meeting. We will see what are the events that lead up to this meeting. We will see what is the environment and setting of this meeting. We will see how will you feel when you see them and how will they feel when they see you. We'll also see what will you talk about and what will you do together. And then we'll also get messages and advice. So that is a mouthful. and let's get started. So, okay, one thing I do want to say is the High Priestess is at the top, and then bottom of the deck we have the Two of Swords, which I noticed that earlier when I was kind of like looking at the cards. We have the Two of Swords, so there could be something you're contemplating about this connection. There could be something you're like trying to figure out. The Two of Swords talks about like you can't make a decision and you're kind of stuck about it. So yeah, you could be stuck about something. You could be trying to figure out like what to do next, or what is this connection, what's going on in this connection. So there is a lot. It just seems like uncertain. That's the energy that I'm feeling right now. So let's go ahead and move this aside and let's get started. So for our energy check, I have your energy here, their energy here, and then this is the energy of the connection in general. But if you feel like your energy is on this side and their energy is on this side, that is totally okay. You can mix and match and do whatever you want with how we read the energies. But again, if this totally doesn't sound like you or your person or your energy, then definitely check out a different group. Okay, so for your energy, we have the One that got away, Mercury, ooh, I definitely feel like you're overthinking a lot, and maybe that is that indecisiveness that's coming through. There's a lot of like going back and forth. Maybe you're wondering if you made the right decision. Maybe you're wondering, what do I do next? There's a lot of overthinking, a lot of anxious energy that's also coming through from this side. We have the Tower, okay. And then we have Love Begins, okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and see what is their energy, and that way we can like compare, you know. So now let's look at your person's current energy towards this connection. Maybe in another time, in another life. Oh wow, that's actually so similar. That is so similar to both of your energies. We have the 8th house. So the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio and Pluto, and the Tower is technically also Scorpio. So lots of Scorpionic energies here. 3 of Cups, Cancer with the 3 of Cups, and then we have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio with Love Begins. This is technically the Ace of Cups. Heartache and loss. Okay, there definitely seems to be some kind of a heartbreak or a breakup that happened here, because this is the 3 of Swords energy. There's a lot of blue that's going on, and even the crystal you guys were drawn to is the blue one, and it's making me think of communication. Even Mercury is about communication, so it feels like maybe both of you either don't have the clarity that you are seeking or the clarity that you need about something, or it's like you really need to talk something through or talk it out or like have a conversation about something, because maybe that's actually leaving you in the dark a little bit. It's interesting though, on this side we have like the green, we literally have 2 rainbows here. So it's like more bright and colorful on this side, but then on this side we have so much blue, you know, which is really making me think of like the mind and also communication. Actually, I don't know who's who. I did like initially say this would be you, this would be them, but I'm kind of getting a mixed bag, or maybe even mutual energies. So I'm just gonna say person A, person B for this group. I think for person B, they're definitely going through some kind of a deep-rooted transformation, or they're like the pain is just so deep that it's causing them to question things, and it's causing them to like, yeah, like really look within or go through some kind of a transformation. With the 8th house here, you know, this is the house of the like the Death card. This is the house of endings and rebirth and transformations. Like this is a very heavy energy. So it really feels like the person B is really going through a lot right now. It also feels like they're searching for something, or they're like looking for person A in other people, or looking for like the type of companionship or the type of relationship, friendship, communication, love, whatever it is. It's like they're looking for these qualities in other people. Because it's interesting with the Three of Cups, this talks about like celebration, friendships, companionships, but the way there's not a single person in this card and just three cups that are kind of spread out in like a kind of a like a heavy energetic energy, like the way all this water is here and the sky, it just feels like they're searching for companionship, or they're searching for something that this connection once gave them. It's also possible person B wants to stay friends with person A, or wants to like have something to continue some kind of a relationship or connection with person A, even though they're heartbroken. I definitely think there is sadness on both ends though, because I feel like, okay, I could read this energy in two ways, so I'm going to give you both ways in case one resonates and the other doesn't. So the first way that I could read this is that for the first time, or maybe the first time in a long time, person A felt like they're finding love and companionship, and they're finding a good relationship, and then it suddenly ended with the Tower. Because this is like the same energy of like something is crumbling, something is falling apart, there is some kind of a death here, and you have to start over. So that is like this overarching energy that we see for the entire connection here. So the first scenario is that person A finally found this connection with somebody, and they felt good about it, and then it suddenly ended, and now they feel like person B is the one that got away, and there's that sadness to it. And then the other scenario I could give you is that there was some kind of an ending with person B, and they do feel like to some extent person B is the one that got away. But they're like willing to start over or start something new with person B. It's interesting because with Love Begins and even the Three of Cups here, I think at the very like bottom, like real boiled down energy, both people here, they do want something with the other person. Like, I don't think that you guys want to cut ties completely, even though something is heartbroken or heartbreaking, even though something is tough, even though something fell apart, and there's some transformative energy here within yourselves or within the connection. I think both people don't want to fully let the other person go. So I feel like person A is willing to give something another chance here, even though something fell apart. And then for person B, they're willing to maybe stay friends with person A, or still continue some kind of a companionship, even though they're heartbroken and they're sad. It also feels like right person, wrong timing, because for both of you, you're saying that like, maybe in another life, or the one that got away. So it almost feels like it was the right person for each other, but it was the timing that was not right. And because of that, there's an emotional energetic energy where it's like lingering between both people. Even if you're in no contact, even if you're not speaking with each other, there's like this energetic connection between the two of you, and it's because you like always remember each other. You'll always be like, oh yeah, like that was this person, and we were compatible, or we had that chance, but like other external circumstances were not right. So it does feel like both people feel like it was the right person, wrong time. And I think both of you, because there's still this emotional energy that's lingering, both of you feel like, okay, maybe in another time, like maybe we'd come back together, maybe something would work out if the timing was right. And it's interesting because I think both parties are like questioning the other person. I feel like for person A, they're really overthinking something here, and they're really overthinking how person B feels or what person B is going through. I think they're like really overthinking it. And I think person B is doing the same thing towards person A. And I do feel like there's not much communication going on between the two of you, which is why there is this confusion. I also think it's interesting that you have the High Priestess as your intro card, because the High Priestess is all about our intuition. So I think for a lot of you, you're either like relying on your intuition, or you're like trying to seek answers from the universe, maybe seek answers from readings like this on what's really going on, because you don't have a lot of answers in the 3D, so you're turning to the 5D to find answers. But I do feel like there's a heavy mutual energy between the two of you here. Let's go ahead and see what is the current energy of the connection itself. Oh, wait, didn't I just say there's like a 5D connection? We literally have sixth sense. We have the Queen of Hearts with the sixth sense. So this is like very similar to like your third eye being activated in regards to this connection here. Yeah, and what's so interesting, there could be a restlessness for both of you, because even if you're not speaking with each other in the real world, there's still that energetic energy between the two of you. Like you're still lingering with each other. You're still pulling on each other's strings, and I think that is what's causing the confusion, because you're not together, or you're in no contact, and you're not like having that 3D relationship, but your sixth sense is heavily activated between the two of you. Your third eye is going crazy all the time, 1111 on the time as I'm saying that. So I can definitely see why there's like a restlessness, or why there is an overwhelming energy. Because, yeah, because it's like you feel it, you don't see it, so maybe sometimes you even feel like you're crazy, but it's like you feel it and you can sense it, that both of you are thinking about each other. Both of you are longing for each other. Both of you are upset with how something ended. Both of you feel like you're the right person, wrong time, but there's not a lot of movement in the 3D. So it's making you feel like, am I crazy? Like, is this really what's happening? I will say, because we see the rainbow here, and we see more like colorful energies on this person's side, it feels like person A is more optimistic about getting back together, or they are more hopeful about getting back together, and they're maybe more open-minded about like the universe bringing you guys back together, or like you guys will eventually find the right time to come together. But it feels like for person B, they have like accepted it as like it's done. That's why this one says the one that got away, which is implying even though you got away, I can come back to you, or I can find you again, or I can like pull you back in again. But this one is literally saying maybe in another time, in another life. So in this lifetime, like person B has like accepted that it's done, to the point that they're like, okay, well, it's not going to happen now, so maybe in another lifetime I'll find you. Whereas for person A, they're very optimistic that like, yeah, I think it's very possible we could come back together in this lifetime. So that is like a main energetic difference between the two of you. I think person B is very much like accepted that it's done. They feel like it can never grow into something more. It's over. And I almost feel like they're even forcing themselves to move on in a way, because for them, they're like, well, if we can never get back together, then like I don't want to hold on to it. I'm just going to move on. So there's a lot of friction between person B and themselves. Like there's a lot of friction within themselves, which I think is maybe what's causing them to kind of have a bit of a transformative energy going on with that 8th house. It's like they feel person A's energy, they want person A, they would like to be in a relationship or reconnect at some point in time, but then their logical side, so that's like their emotions and maybe even their intuition, but then their logical side of things is like, no, like it's done. Person A is gone. They might have already moved on. They might already be with somebody else, you know? So it's like they have this tug of war between themselves. But I do think that there is some kind of a psychic connection between the two of you, and that's why it's causing them to like really go crazy, because they're like, what the heck is happening? Interesting. Yeah, and even this, like they're trying to find person A's qualities in other people, find this type of a companionship somewhere else. Like they are really just trying to like move on, and really trying to like block out the psychic energy, block out the energetic connection between the two of you. So I don't know if you guys were together. I don't know if I also feel like this doesn't have to be strictly romantic. This could totally be a friend, totally be a sibling, a family member. Like, this could be a completely platonic situation. It does not have to be romantic at all. And yeah, and I do think like something happened, like something ended out of nowhere. So I think whether it was romantic or platonic, I think the relationship was moving forward, it was doing fine, and then suddenly it just fell apart. And you kind of had to pick up the pieces, like both of you had to pick up the pieces and go in your separate ways. And yeah, like that love, the love still lingers for both of you towards each other. So this could totally be like a best friend that you had, and then and then something happened, and then you both had to go your separate ways, or even like family. This totally does not have to be romantic, but it can be. But it can really be anything. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see what your guides have to say about the connection. For group 1, what do their guides have to say about this connection here? Temperance. Take it slow, take it easy, don't rush it, but don't be too hard on yourself. Don't force yourself to heal. Don't force the situation to advance. Yeah, like don't be too hard on yourself. Like, especially if this is a pretty big thing, a pretty big relationship falling apart, a pretty big friendship falling apart. They're saying like don't be hard on yourself. Take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, bottom of the deck. Yeah, take it one day at a time. Take it slow. Be there for yourself. Love yourself. Nurture yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Oops, and all my cards just fell on the ground. Oh. Okay, something is totally going on with this group's energy towards this person, because all my cards just fell on the ground, and then as I tried to pick up my cards, I guess I rocked my table, and then my ring light totally fell over, and like everything kind of got messed up, and I had to fix everything. So I do feel like there's a very strong energetic pull between the two of you, or like the energy is so restless. Like there's like a lot. Like I almost feel like it's like overwhelming, the energy here. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer the questions now. Let's see who will initiate your next meeting. For group 1, who will initiate the next meeting here? Who will initiate the next meeting for group 1? Oh, there's a card. See, I don't even know what the heck's going on. Okay, we have the Sun. I'm going to take that because I guess I didn't realize I didn't put it back together properly. We have the Sun. For who will initiate the next meeting, I definitely think it's Spirit that's initiating the next meeting with the Sun. It's going to be like divine timing, divine orchestration. You're probably going to go somewhere and they're going to happen to be there. So I don't think it's something either of you are doing. I don't think either of you are reaching out or intentionally doing anything. The universe is planning it for you, and they are, if you are feeling called to go do something, you should go, because they're probably being called to go do that same thing too. And I think it will be super weird, like, especially not weird in a bad way, but weird as in like, whoa, like where did you come from? Because especially if you guys, like, if there's like real distance between the two of you, or you live in different cities or different states or something, like especially if there's like a major distance, and then suddenly you just end up in the same place at the same time, you're like, whoa, like where did you come from, you know? But I think essentially the universe is bringing the two of you to having this meeting, or to having this reunion together. I do want to say reunion because I do feel like for this group, you very strongly already know who this is. You already had some kind of a connection with them. So what is an event or events leading up to this meeting for group 1? What is an event or events leading up to this meeting? We have the 5 of Wands. Let's clarify the 5 of Wands. Oh. I almost feel like it makes more sense to be Five of Wands in the reverse and the Moon upright. I feel like an event that is leading to this reunion between the two of you is when you stop fighting your intuition. Because that's what I was just saying. You would feel called to go do something. So your intuition is telling you, hey, like, you should go here, or you should do this, or whatever. And I think with the Five of Wands upright, it would talk about you are fighting off this intuitive feeling for a long time. But then finally, you're listening to your intuition and you're not fighting it and you're not resisting it. And you're like, okay, let me just go see, like, what this is or why you want me to go there or something like that. So it might not lead directly to this, but I think this would start some kind of a series of events that could eventually lead to this bumping into each other somewhere. So I think an event or events leading up to the bumping into each other is you stop resisting your intuition in some way and you accept it a bit more. This could even be your intuition about this connection. Maybe for the longest time you're trying to dismiss this connection, dismiss the energetic connection you guys have. So then maybe finally when you give into it and you stop fighting it and you see the signs and synchronicities and you're following it like a treasure map, then you end up meeting them again, or you end up with where you need to go. Cool. Okay, so what is the environment or setting of your next meeting? What is the environment or setting of this meeting? We have the Star. Let me clarify. I was actually thinking it could be a restaurant or a bar or a place that's dimly lit. And that's what I was thinking earlier with the moon, because that's also kind of dimly lit. So now that actually makes sense. I think it would be in like a dimly lit environment. So like a bar, a restaurant, a movie theater, a museum. It could also be something that's like a local, you know, a tourist spot, or like a local thing for a city that like a lot of people would go to because it's like a touristy thing. So such as like a museum or something like that, because even with the Star, it feels like a more relaxed energy. It feels like a more laid back energy. It also feels like you weren't expecting it and it kind of just happened out of nowhere. Like it just like came out in front of you. Like this person is just there. So it does feel like a darker environment, dimly lit, and maybe a place that a lot of tourism happens here, or like if you go to the city, everyone kind of goes there, and that's how you kind of end up at the same place. You have the sun, the moon, and the stars. It's literally written in your stars for you guys to have this divine union again. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't even think I need to clarify this. I think you wouldn't be expecting it. It's just like a spot people go to, and it's a quiet, laid back, peaceful energy environment, and you just happen to see them there. Okay, let's see. How will you feel when you see them? That was fast. You have the Knight of Swords. It's funny because it actually came out in the reverse. And then let's clarify, how will they feel when they see you? How will they feel when they see you? The Hanged Man. They're both giving very similar energies. So for your energy with the Knight of Swords in the reverse, I feel like you are really going to be holding back the need to talk to them, or the need to just like lay everything out at once, you know, especially if there's a lot for you guys to catch up on, or there's been a lot of overthinking and a lack of clarity between the two of you. I feel like you really want to like talk, and like you just want to tell them everything, tell them how you feel, and you just really want to like, it's like just everything out at once. And I think you're going to have to hold yourself back, because I think for one, maybe the environment is like, you know, you can't really just stop in the middle of nowhere and just have this huge conversation. But I also think in general, you catch yourself before you say a lot, but I think you're like itching to have like a full, deep conversation. Like, let's catch up on everything. Like, I want to know everything that happened. But yeah, with the Knight of Swords in the reverse, you're really like holding back from spilling all the beans. You're really holding back from spilling everything to this person. And also with the Hanged Man, and actually it could also be that maybe you're with other people, because I'm kind of feeling like you could be with a person, or you could be with a group of people. So say if you're at a museum, maybe you're not there alone, and because of like the environment, you're not able to immediately have this sit down conversation with them because you're with people and you can't just abandon them, or they're with people, they can't just abandon you or abandon them to come to you. So it almost feels like you would like acknowledge each other, maybe say hi or whatever, like small talk, but then I think you would probably like text them later, or you would say to them, oh, like how long are you here, like maybe we can grab a drink, or like we can hang out later on our own. It almost feels like it would just lead to that. And this is a very similar energy for them with the Hanged Man in the reverse. They want to come out of that period of rest. You know, that's what we've been saying. There's distance between the two of you. There's no contact right now between the two of you. And they want to come out of that with this in the reverse. So I think you're in a situation where you're not able to just sit down and have this deep conversation with each other or catch up. But then you see each other, you acknowledge each other, maybe make small talk, and then one of you or both of you are mutually gonna say, hey, like what are you doing later? Or like I'm free later, we can hang out, just us, and catch up. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like both of you want it to lead to something more. That is how you both feel. So let's see, what will you talk about? What will you guys talk about during this? Oh, Seven of Wands in the reverse. Again, it just feels like the floodgates are opening. Like you'll talk about anything and everything. I also think you'll give the other person space to talk about what they want. Like as much as you want to say what you want to say, I think you're going to give them time and space for them to talk and for them to like tell you everything that's happening. And it almost feels like you're not fighting for the spotlight. You know, you kind of give them their space for them to talk, and then you're talking when they're giving you space to talk. It feels very like mutual, like we're both sharing a lot of things. We're not like hogging to be the one talking. We're not hogging the spotlight. But it's not giving me specifically what you're going to talk about. So you could probably just talk about anything and everything. Let's see, what will you do together? Oh my god. The Two of Cups. Again, if this is not romantic, this could easily just be the energy of like as soon as you guys see each other, you're gonna realize like, oh my god, that's my soulmate, that's my soul family, that's my soul best friend, you know, that's my soul family. Because I feel like soulmates can definitely be platonic, soulmates can be best friends, soulmates can be your animals, they can be your family, you know, we have a lot of soulmates. And I think with so many messages of divine timing, divine reunion, I do think this is the universe's way of saying whoever this person is, whatever the circumstances of the relationship, you are each other's soulmate. Let's see, what will you guys do together? What will they do together for group one? What will they do together? Oh, the Three of Cups. Yes, so I do think there's going to be like a let's hang out, let's meet up later. It definitely feels like not in the initial moment that you guys meet each other. For some of you, maybe you can break off from the group. Maybe for some of you, you are there by yourself, like you're just on a solo date and you're by yourself and you see them there. So for some of you, it could be that that initial moment does lead to this spending all day, maybe all night together. But others of you, I do think you make plans to meet up with them later on in the day, maybe again in the evening, because now we see drinks, we kind of see like more of a nightlife atmosphere. So it's possible you guys dress up very nicely, you know, like you want to look good, and then you kind of meet up later on in the day. But it does feel like a celebration. It feels Like you're dressing up nice, there's something to be excited about, you're really looking forward to this. There might be drinks, there might be music. So I do think like you guys will definitely talk and have like good conversation, but I do think you could be dancing, you could be going out for a few drinks, maybe you go out to dinner. It's like it does feel like a date for sure. It does feel like a date when you guys decide to meet up. And then for others of you, maybe it just leads into that. Okay, I think that's everything. So now let's go ahead. Well, and if this is not romantic, then it's just like you're going out and having a good time. I'm hearing like the good old days. Like you guys used to go out all the time in the good old days, or dress up and go clubbing or go dancing or go to bars or restaurants or whatever. Like it's kind of like you just click like right away. Even if there was months or years of distance between the two of you, the moment you see each other and you're back in each other's energetic grid, you just like click and you're right back to where you were. And I think you'll be very happy about that as well. Yeah, this could totally be like a best friend. This could totally be somebody you used to hang out with all the time, somebody you used to spend a lot of time with. Yeah, like this does not have to be romantic at all. Okay, that's it. So let's go ahead and see any messages and or advice for group one. This deck is so crazy. Like, I don't know, it's just going all over the place. Messages and or advice for group one. Knight of Cups. Messages and or advice for group one. Aw, Page of Pentacles. Messages. Oh my goodness. I think it's also, this deck is kind of slippery, and I think that's probably what it is. It's like I'm not holding it right. Okay, Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and then we have the Chariot. And the Chariot is in the reverse. So I think the message here is the universe is telling you, you know, don't chase this situation, no matter who it is or what kind of a relationship it is. Don't chase it. With a Chariot in the reverse, let it happen naturally. Continue to do your thing, continue to live your life, and just do what you're doing, because we see that it is the universe that's bringing you guys together. So even this next meeting, it is inevitable. It is fated and destined to happen. So there's nothing you can do or don't do that's going to affect it. And I think that if you are longing for this person, if you're missing them, whatever, I think that the universe is saying just continue on in your everyday life, doing your everyday tasks, just being you and having a good time, because the universe will bring you guys together and you don't have to do anything on your own. Okay, group number one, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. If you're interested in exclusive content, I have a Patreon where the viewers get to suggest the monthly readings. So if that's something you're interested in, the link to Patreon is in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And please like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, if you chose this Wheel of Fortune with this carnelian ball, this is your group. Hello, group number two. Thank you guys so much for being here. Your support really means the world to me, and I am so excited for our reading today. I think today I'll set our crystals on our selenite over here. Okay, so let me go ahead and move this aside, and we will talk about our reading today. So like I mentioned in the intro, this is all about the next time that you are going to see this person. So this is whoever is on your mind right now, whoever you're thinking about. For some of you, I almost feel like you're longing for this person in this group. It just feels like, especially with the Wheel of Fortune, you know, this like compass thing here, and then it's interesting because normally on the Wheel of Fortune, like it is here, the beings are kind of on like opposite sides or on different ends of the spectrum in a way. And for this group, it almost feels like there could be like distance, like physical distance between you and this person, or it just feels like you're really longing for this person, and maybe they're longing for you too. I'm sensing like like there's either distance, or there's something in the way, or there's something that's like slowing the process down, and it really feels like you're longing for them. And yeah, it's possible they're longing for you too. But let's go ahead and get started. So this is all about the next time you will see them. So we're going to start off with the current energies here. So we're going to look at your energy, your person's energy, and also the energy of the connection. Then we'll go ahead and see what do your guides have to say about this connection. So any advice that they want to give you regarding the situation. And then we'll go ahead and get into, the next time you see them. So we'll go ahead and see who will initiate your next meeting. We will see what are the events or event that leads up to this next meeting. We're going to see what is the environment or setting of your next meeting. We will see how you'll feel when you see them, and how will they feel when they see you. We'll also see what you will talk about, what you'll do together, and then we'll end off with any other messages or advice from your spirit guides or from the universe, or just like anything else that wants to come through at the very end. So this is a very long reading. It's going to be pretty in-depth, so maybe even watch this on faster speed if you want to get through it quicker, but definitely get comfy and let's get started. So I have our energy checks here, and the energy check is also a good way for you to know if this is your group or not. So if this, really does not sound like you, doesn't sound like the person you're thinking of, doesn't sound like your connection at all, then definitely go ahead and check out a different group. But yeah, and if it does sound like you, then almost said you guys, then you can stick around and we'll get into the rest of the reading. So this is going to be your energy in this connection. This is their energy. And then this is the energy of the connection itself. So let's go ahead. Oh, and I do want to say, if you feel like the energies are reversed, or if you feel like, this is you, this is them, or you guys are really like mirroring each other, that's totally okay as well. I just kind of shuffled the cards with the intentions of this is you, this is them, but you can really watch it however you want to, as long as, the messages make sense, then that's great. So let's go ahead and see what is your current energy towards this connection. 333 on the time as I'm saying this. We have it's going to take time. We have Taurus. This is a fixed sign, and actually on the Wheel of Fortune we have all fixed signs on there. Okay. It's going to take time, and Taurus. Oh, we have the Lovers. Let's see if everything... Wow, you have a really pretty like color scheme going on already, with the purple here and the purple here and like the pink on this. And then we have New Beginnings. Okay. So this is, how do I want to place my cards? There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at what is their current energy towards this connection. So this is whoever you are thinking about. Oh, it says, I want you, with a cute little heart. Virgo, we have another earth sign. Ooh, 10 of Crystals. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. And then we have Light with the number 19. Okay. I will say right away, you will know if this is your group or not, because it's a very specific energy. And right away, I do feel like this seems like a very healthy connection between the two people here. But it does feel like it is slow. So that initial energy that I was feeling is kind of accurate here, because with Taurus and Virgo here, it just feels like it's a very slow moving energy, or maybe to get to the next step, or to get the ball rolling, or there's just something here to where it's very, very slow, but it feels like both parties are very interested in each other. And I also think that both people are very mature, in the sense that they both know that something is going to take time. So it does feel like a very mutual energy on both sides here. So let's start with person or this is you, this is your energy for group 2. So for your energy, I feel like you are embarking on some kind of a new journey in life, and I think that this person is actually very supportive of your new chapter or whatever it is you're doing right now. And that could be another reason that this is taking a little bit longer, because maybe you decided to like change careers or go to school somewhere else or move somewhere else for something on like a much larger scale. So it does feel like you could be starting some kind of a new chapter here. So maybe for some of you this could be turning into like a long distance relationship, and that's why there is that slowness, and maybe even that distance that I was kind of feeling in the very beginning. And so it does feel like on this person's side they're starting something new, and I think you're very excited to start this new beginning, to have this new chapter in your life. And I think that no matter what, you will still have your relationship as a priority for group 2's energy here. And I think that's also another reason you know something is going to take time, because things are just changing right now. Maybe for some of you you're already in this distance and that's why you want to see like when are you going to see them next. But there's a lot of love here from your energy to this person. With the Lovers here, this is Gemini energy as well. There could be a lot of communication going on between the two of you, especially if you're not like able to physically hang out all the time. It does feel like you stay in regular contact, so this could be phone calls, texting, FaceTime, like anything. I feel like you really stay in contact throughout the day. There also feels to be an energy of like you guys can't be separated. Like it's tough for you guys to be separated. I do think like physical touch could be an important part of your relationship, especially with like this couple. Actually, I don't even know if this is a couple or this is a kid, but it's like these people here are very, intertwined. And then this energy of like that I want you. It does feel like both of you, like physical touch could be an important part of your relationship and your love languages, and it also feels like that could be something both of you are missing and both of you are craving, and that also like adds to the distance because you can't be in that physical contact the way you want to be. But yeah, with this being Gemini energy and Mercury energy, it really does feel like you stay in constant communication often. You could even be sending like, spiritual messages, signs and synchronicities, psychic messages back and forth to each other as well. It's kind of the energy of like you were about to call them, but then they call you, or you just like thought about them and then they like text you. It's like little things like that could definitely be happening between the two of you here. Now, another way I can interpret group 2's energy here, or like this person's energy on this side, is you could have just recently started a new beginning in your life in general. So it doesn't have to be about the connection necessarily, but it's like in general in life you have started a new beginning and you don't want to rush into this connection with this person. Like yes, there are feelings here, but I think that you want to take it slow. Maybe there has been certain things that happened in your past, or past relationships, past trauma, past wounds. Like there's a certain energy of like I really want to slow down, or I want to take my time with this. I feel like for your energy here, it's just like you don't want to rush it. You want to take your time. I think you're very interested in this person and you really do want to get to know them and you really do want to spend time with them and all that stuff. But I think for some of you, you just want to take it slow and you don't want to rush into anything. So for some of you, you could have like recently moved and then you like met this person after you moved to this new place, or it's like you meet them in a new chapter in your life. So those are like the two scenarios I'm seeing. For one, you could be having some kind of a new beginning on your own and you're already in a connection with this person, or you have started a new beginning on your own, but then you end up meeting this person during that new phase in your life and you want to take it slow and you don't want to rush the situation. And I think that's why on your side, we see the energy of like it's going to take time, because I think you're also very upfront and you're very straightforward about what you want, and you're just like, you know what, like I'm not gonna rush it. I don't want to rush it, and I think you've already said that to this person. And from what I see here, I do feel like this person does make you comfortable. I don't think this is the energy of somebody that's like bombarding you or harassing you or like stalking you or like driving you crazy if you told them that like you want space and you just want to be, take your own time with it. I don't sense that. I do think that they're very respectful and they're very loving, and they they're like, yes, like we'll take it on your pace or in your own time. But the thing is, we have both of these earth signs here with Taurus and Virgo. I feel like both parties are definitely willing, or you already are putting in 1111 on my time, putting in the time and effort to build a stable foundation with this person. So whether you've been with this person for a while or you are just getting to know this person, I think both people are interested in long-term stability, which is why I think this person doesn't want to rush it, but this person is also okay with not rushing it because they're not really looking for immediate satisfaction, temporary satisfaction, casual relationships. I definitely think like that's why this works, because both of you are compatible in the sense of like I want something long term. I don't want just a fling right now. Like I want to work towards something. So I think you're very compatible in that sense. Now, yeah, I mean, the Ten of Crystals, I do think that this person loves you and cares about you and has like deeper feelings for you than you do for them. I definitely think you still have a lot of love and a lot of feelings for this person. And I do think you want it to work out. But I do sense the energy of coming from like this way to this way, with the I want you and then the Ten of Pentacles here as well. And even that Virgo energy. Virgo is all about sustaining something, or having that stability, putting in the time and effort and staying consistent with something on a regular basis. So especially with the Ten of Pentacles, I mean, this is like a lifelong commitment. This is like family legacy, commitment, or I already said commitment, marriage, kids, long-term stability. That's really what they see and what they want from you. So I definitely think that like they are probably a little bit more interested or a little bit more eager for something, or just like it just feels like their energy is a bit more stronger in this scenario. But I think they're so sweet and they genuinely love you. I think that this is not the energy of somebody that's faking it. So if you're afraid that like this person is faking it and you don't know if you can trust them all the way, especially if you have like past wounds and past traumas, you know, it's normal. We all have stuff like that. So I think that if you do feel that way about them, there's no need to worry, because they genuinely like they only have their eyes on you and they want you forever. That's very clear to me. And then also, if you are in the process of like pursuing your career, pursuing your school, whatever it is that's like causing a distance here, don't worry about it. I think they are extremely supportive. Like this person would support you no matter what you did. If this turns into a long distance, they will support you. If this turns into you changing careers, changing schools, pursuing something else, like it doesn't matter to them, because for them, they want you to live your authentic life and do whatever it is that you want to do, and they will support you no matter what. And for some of you, I'm even sensing that like this is new to you. Like it's new to have a partner that cares about you so much, or that is so flexible with you, and doesn't like put you in a box and allows you to do whatever you want. I think for some of you, it's very new to you, and that's why you're a little bit like, what's going on? Like you're a little fishy. It's a little fishy to you because you're just like, this is new. But I do think at the end of the day, they want you to do whatever you want, and they want you to be happy, and they will truly support you because they love you and they genuinely want to be there with you. And even the light here, it's like this is the sun energy, and it feels like there's like a spotlight on you. Like no matter where you go, they only have eyes for you. And I think they're also very proud of you, and they're very proud to show you off. Like that's coming through very strongly. I feel like with the sun here, they anywhere they go, they want to show you off. They are like, this is my person, this is my partner, and I'm so proud of them and I love them and they could do no wrong. And it's like they really have those hard eyes for you, and I think that all they want to do is show you off, and it just makes them like so happy to know that like you are interested in them, or you are in a relationship with them. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, wait, let me see what this is. We have the Magician with impulse. Okay, that actually is perfect to what I was just about to say. Again, more Mercury energy. I really feel like you have excellent intellectual conversations with this person, and you just have like excellent communication skills. You can really talk about anything with this person, and maybe that's another reason you feel held and you feel safe, because you can like unload everything and all your trauma and your past and all your wounds and all everything you've healed from. Like, you can really unpack and unload everything on this person, and they will always be there to listen to you. It's funny, I'm seeing a lot of the chatter coming from your end to their end. And I'm seeing a lot of like the emotional support coming from their end to your end. Oh, I was gonna say something before I picked up this card. Yes, so for those of you who are just meeting this person, or you're just getting to know this person, I do think that message of what I just said, of like, you are questioning if they're real, you're questioning if they're legit, if they really are, you know, what they say they are towards you. With the Magician here, it's interesting, the word impulses here. It does feel like for both people, but especially for you as well, is that you are like falling for them a lot faster than you thought you would. and and I do think there's some sense of like, it's happening quickly, but you are afraid of how fast it's happening, and that's why you want to slow down. You want it to take its time. You don't want to rush into it. But I think the energy of the connection, literally being the Magician, which is a very fast-paced energy, it's a forward movement energy. You know, the energy of the connection, it's going, it's moving, it's speeding up. But I think like you are a little nervous about it speeding up, just again for your own reasons. And I do think for a lot of you, if you resonate with this energy here, it does feel like the reason you wanted to slow down, you know, like I said earlier, it's because of some trauma or some wounds that you have from the past. And even with this new beginnings energy, it's like for the first time you're able to like be in a healthy relationship. Excuse me, because we have the new beginnings, this is the Fool, and then we have the Lover. So we have two major arcana on your end. So it's really showing me like this could be the first time you're in a healthy connection. This could be the first time you're in a relationship with somebody who actually cares for you, who actually loves you, or, you know, it's just new. Like, that's why we have a new beginning here, because this is a type of connection that you have never seen before. And I think, you know, that can be scary. That can be a little intimidating, and you're just like questioning it and questioning yourself. So I think for you on this side, there is a lot of like, yeah, being intimidated by this person or by what they are offering you. But they are all in. I mean, they're all in, and I think that maybe that's a confirmation for some of you that you needed to hear that. But yeah, I do think the connection itself is picking up very fast, if it hasn't already. And it just seems like we're doing it, like it's going, and I think but it feels right. It feels right. Even this being a major arcana, it doesn't feel like, I think to you it might feel impulsive, or it might feel too fast for you, but I think in like the universe's timeline, this definitely feels like a divine counterpart energy, or like a soulmate energy, and it does feel like everything is happening at the right time. I also feel like it's interesting, because I feel like a lot of the messages are like directed towards your energy, or whoever is on this side, because it also feels like this is a relationship that came into your life to help you heal, to help you see that there is like good in people, to help you see that there can be healthy and happy relationship dynamics. So I think for a lot of you, like, this is meant to teach you something, or it's meant to heal certain aspects of you, and it's like it's meant for you. So there's no need to really question it, or no need to really like be afraid of it. Okay, let me go ahead. Oh my gosh, I can't, like, my desk is so full that it's like tough to pick up things. Okay, let's go ahead and see what your guides have to say about the connection. So now we're moving on from our energy check. So if this sounds like you, then, you know, definitely keep listening, and we will go into the next part here. So what do your guides have to say about this connection? Let's just get one card here. What do your guides have to say to you, group 2, about this connection? The Emperor, I love it. Another major arcana, but it's a divine masculine. And I think that the universe and your guides and everyone is telling you, like, yes, like, this is legit. This is a divine counterpart. This is a very healthy masculine energy, the divine masculine energy that has come into your life here. This is Aries. the sign of Aries, but it does, and this is Leo, by the way. So there could be, this person could be very fiery, very extroverted. They could be very fun, chatty, easy to make friends. They could also be very attractive, they're just very physically attractive. And there could be like certain aspects of themselves, because maybe you're a bit more introverted or you're a bit more reserved. Sometimes you could have even felt like they're out of your league a little bit or something like that. But I feel like because of how they are as a person and their physical appearance and their personality, that could also cause you to doubt them or be like, do they really like me? Like, are, you know, do they really want me? But the universe is saying yes, like they really want you. This is somebody that's stable. This is somebody that you can trust long term. This is like a connection that is being blessed by spirit themselves. Like the universe orchestrated the two of you to come together because this is the relationship for you. So I love it. I mean, we literally cannot get better than this. And I love that the Wheel of Fortune was your intro card, because even that talks about destiny. It talks about a fated event. And actually, now that we're talking about destiny, for those of you who don't have this person in your life already, like I do feel the need to say, for some of you, maybe you have not met them yet, and you will meet them. And maybe this is going to be the next time you see them, or the first time you meet them for some of you, because with all this like fated event energy, it does feel like for some of you, maybe you're like intuitively picking up on this person, or you're like having dreams about them, or just like, you know, picking up on them, but you haven't necessarily met them in real life yet. So you're sensing them in the 5D, but you haven't seen them yet in the 3D. I do think that they will be coming into your life soon, and that's probably what we are seeing. So we can read the energy in two ways for the rest of the reading. If this is somebody you already know, this can be the energy of the next time you see them. But if this is somebody brand new and you're just picking up on them energetically and you have not met them in the real world yet, then this could be the energy of like how you will meet them. Okay, let's answer all of our questions. So, ooh, for some of you, maybe you are like on the other side of the world or in different countries, different, like there is like major distance between the two of you, whether you know them or you don't know them. And because there is that energy of like distance, and then she's standing on the world. So for some of you, that could definitely be it. Okay, let's go ahead and see who will initiate your next meeting. So will it be you, will it be them, or will it be spirit initiating it? So who will initiate this next meeting between group 1 or group 2 and their person? Who will initiate this next meeting? Oh, okay, there's 2. I'll take both. Ooh, King of Diamonds and the 3 of Diamonds. So we have more Pentacles energy coming out here. And that combined is also making me think of the 4 of Pentacles. And it also feels like this person is like bringing that offer to you, bringing that coin to you, that diamond to you. So I definitely think the masculine energy is going to initiate something. And for some of you, this could also be somebody you like work with, or somebody you go to school with, or somebody that you, yeah, it's like you could interact with them on a regular basis. Even though we're talking about all this distance, but for some of you, especially if you don't know them, but it's like you're not in that connection with them right now, but wait, no, I don't think that makes sense. Okay, I guess the other way that I could read it is that I definitely think the masculine energy is coming towards you, and we already kind of established like the energy is flowing from this way to this way. So they're going to come towards you with some kind of like an offer, or communication. I mean, when I think about a pentacle, especially the Ace of Pentacles, which is what this is making me think of, it reminds me of a text message, a DM, a phone call, something like realistic, something that you can like see or hear or touch or feel, like a letter or a note or something, you know? So it does feel like they are going to come towards you. Oh, with the 3 of Diamonds, it could also be that like at first they are okay with it just being like a casual situation, like maybe they're inviting other people to it as well. Let me get some more cards and maybe that will make sense. But you know, for some of you, it's possible you could like, this could be a classmate, or this could be somebody you go to school with. Hey guys, this is me from the future. As you can see, I just cleaned up, but I just got another intuitive message about the first two cards that we saw about who will initiate your next meeting, and we decided that the masculine energy would initiate hanging out with you and like getting to know you and all of that. So for that Three of Pentacles that was here, there is a message that like if you guys are already in a connection together and you're like busy and you don't really have that all that time together, like we mentioned earlier, they could like reach out to you and say like, hey, you know, I know you're really busy, but why don't you take some time off of work? And then that could be when you guys like meet up, because then they're saying, because I feel like that Three of Pentacles, I couldn't really understand it, but now I think that's what it's saying, is like they would reach out to you and say like, hey, like take a couple days off, like I miss you, let's meet up, let's, you know, let's do whatever it is, but like take some time off of work to make that happen. Okay, back to the reading. Or you could work together, because it's like with the Three of Pentacles, like I could totally see this as somebody that's like coming up to you and is like asking you to study or go to the cafe or go to the coffee shop, or like asking your input on something for some of you. But if that doesn't really resonate for all of you, then you can just view the King of Diamonds and just see this as that the masculine energy is coming forward to initiate this meeting. Okay, so then let's see, what is an event or events that lead up to this next meeting? An event or events leading up to this next meeting. Ooh, Queen of Crystals. I immediately saw this as you are improving yourself in some way. So, because the Queen of Crystals, this is the Queen of Wands. So this is the energy of somebody that, I mean, she's a baddie, right? So she is confident, she's outgoing, she takes care of herself, she loves herself, nurtures herself, and she's very sure of who she is as a person. So I immediately saw this as like as something that can like give you a clue as to maybe when this person is coming into your life, or when this person is going to be coming forward, is when you are like either doing something for yourself, or you're like taking care of yourself a little bit better, or it's like you're like healing mentally, or you're healing emotionally, or it's like you're finding confidence. It's like something to do with you. There is some kind of an improvement within yourself that will maybe attract this person to come into your life, or it attracts like this person energetically, and you're kind of telling the universe, hey, like I'm working on X, Y, and Z about myself. So then the universe is like, okay, like we see that you're in a better position to maybe attract this person into your life. So I do feel like an event or events leading up to this union or this reunion or whatever is happening here is something to do with you taking care of yourself. This could even be something as simple as like getting your hair done differently, or like changing something about your style, changing something about your aesthetic, maybe even the way you carry yourself. Yeah, this could be a lot of things. It could be something as very small as like a physical appearance thing that you're doing, or it could be something on a much greater scale of like healing deep wounds. So I think that can be anywhere on that spectrum, but I do think something about like taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself is an event or something that could potentially happen before this happens. Okay, the next thing, what is the environment / setting of your next meeting? Yeah, so for those of you who, if this is like a union and you have like never met this person before, I think the universe is trying to say to you that like you would attract this person into your life, like no matter where you are, you would like allow them to come into your life energetically once you start working on yourself and you become the best version of yourself. Because Spirit is saying like you have to get certain things done in order to really attract this person to come into your life energetically, and to even like manifest this type of a partner. Because if we're still unhealed and if we're still in our old ways and like, you know, in all of that, then it's like it's tough to attract a new healthy situation or a new healthy partnership or person if we're still kind of like stuck in our old ways in a way. And that's for those of you who like have no idea who this person is. This would be like your first union with this person. Okay, let's go ahead and see what is the environment or setting of your next meeting. What is the environment or setting? What is the environment or setting of your next meeting? Oh, that definitely took a while. And it fell on the ground. Okay. We have the Three of Crystals, so that's the Three of Wands. We have Aries out again, and this is fire, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is Capricorn energy, and this King of Diamonds is Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's clarify the... Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Let's clarify the Three of Crystals. I just got a message about this for some of you. I just want to clarify for others of you. Oh, we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. Oh my gosh, Two of Cups, bottom of the deck. So this is like totally soulmate vibe, soulmate energy. So I'll keep that out. For some of you, the environment slash setting of when like this is happening or when you're meeting this person could actually be if you're traveling somewhere or in a new place. Because with the Three of, and that actually makes so much sense with the new beginnings, because the Three of Wands talks about a new milestone, or like a new, like we're starting a new chapter or a new milestone. And sometimes it can also make me think of like a vacation, or you're traveling somewhere, whether it's for a long term or for a limited time, but it does make me feel like you have gone to a new location. So for some of you, it's literally like you are starting a new milestone in your life, and maybe like you working on yourself has led you to start this new milestone, and that's where you meet this person in that new chapter. And I do think it would be in a new location, that it's not where you are right now. This is a completely new place. And then for others of you, this could be like you're just taking a trip there and you're not necessarily staying there long term, but then you would meet this person there. It does feel like a new environment, and yeah, you're either traveling there or you are moving there and having some kind of a new beginning there. You could also be like very popular in this place, because with the Knight of Cups coming out like this, and especially since we saw the Queen of Wands here, like you could have a lot of eyes on you, or just a lot of people are interested in you at this place. Or maybe you're just like not looking for a serious relationship during that time when you meet this person, because there is like this flirtatious energy that's coming through in this new environment or in this new milestone in your life. Like you're not really looking for anything serious, or you have a lot of admirers coming forward, and they like, you know, wanting to take you out, or, you know, just like admiring you. I think there was something else I was gonna say with the Knight of Cups though. But yeah, I think essentially the environment is like a new location. And with the Knight of Cups, I do think that you would be in this energy, like in this environment, you would be there, emotionally available and emotionally stable. So I do think there has been some healing that has happened before this, because with the Knight of Cups, it's making me think of the Queen of Cups, where she has a lid on her cup, and that really symbolizes that like she's not just going to give her love to just anybody, but she is reserving it for the right person. So you could definitely be like emotionally available, emotionally stable, but you're not just like gonna be falling in love with just anybody. And even the Six of Swords bottom of the deck here, this could also indicate moving or relocating. Let's see, how are you gonna feel when you see them? For group 2, how will group 2 feel when they see this person? The Four of Diamonds. And I said earlier, I was like, that actually looks like it adds up to the Four of Diamonds. So this is how you're gonna feel when you see them, or when you're like meeting them, hanging out with them. So let's see, how are they going to feel about you? How will this person feel about you during this time, or during this meeting? Got 2 out at the same time. Oh, I heard like you're just what I've been looking for. Because the Nine of Crystals really talks about a wounded warrior, and even in this person is wounded. So, and then the Eight of Crystals, the Eight of Wands, Sagittarius energy, fast forward movement, expansion, excitement, fireworks. It really feels like after a period of like staying single, or after a period of like getting hurt repeatedly, or after a period of being that wounded warrior and feeling like I'm not gonna find my person, they finally find you. It's like you literally just fly into their life, or just plop into their life somehow, and the moment they're meeting you or getting to know you, or you know, interacting with you, they're just like, oh my gosh, like, where have you been? Where did you come from? Like, I've been looking for you. I've had so many like errors and trials, and like, or yeah, trial and errors, and like dating people, and it's not working out, and like I've just kind of given up on love. Like, that's kind of their outlook, and I think that's why they're so keen on just be looking for a long-term relationship and not really dating around, because they definitely have like a wounded energy when it comes to past relationships. But it almost feels like this is an energy of somebody being very closed off and like cut off when it comes to like emotional love in that sense, or emotional comfort in that way, because they're wounded, and this is probably their heart as well. But then the moment they see you, they're just like expanding. They're just bird, and they can finally fly free, and they're expanding in their ways, and they're just like, wow, like, where have you been? I'm hearing that song by Rihanna, Where Have You Been All My Life? And for you with the Four of Diamonds, I definitely think that you see a lot of the qualities that you look for in a person, especially like those stable, down-to-earth qualities, as like that hardworking, you know, consistent, they're dependable, they could be very financially stable as well. Like, there's just certain qualities that you look for, and I think immediately it kind of makes you feel like, oh wow, like, you're different, and it just makes you feel like they check off certain boxes for you. But I think with the Four of Pentacles, again, you're in this energy of like, okay, I don't want to rush it, I don't want to slow it, or I mean, I want to slow it down, I don't want to rush into it, I don't want to jump into it, even though they check off your boxes, and you're very in awe. Like, you're in this energy. I think both of you are in this energy because this is the energy of the connection of the Magician, and both of you are wanting to kind of be impulsive, or just like jump right into it, dive right into it. But I think you are like telling yourself, okay, let's be logical, let's be practical, let's slow down. Like, we even know this person that well, we don't have to jump into it, even though you want to. And then for them, I think they're totally embracing it, and they are totally jumping in head first to this expansion that you make them feel. Let's go ahead and see, like, what will you talk about during this time together? What will you talk about? What will group 2 and this person talk about? Knight of Swords. Yes, this is exactly what I was seeing earlier. This is all about communication. This is a chatterbox. I guess Spirit is not telling me, I love the Two of Cups, our soulmate card. I'm going to leave it over there. What I was saying is, like, the spirit, oh my God. I'm getting tongue-tied. Maybe there's so much you guys want to talk about that you're like running over each other with words, or like you're getting so tongue-tied. Okay. With a Knight of Swords, I'm not seeing like specific topics, but you'll probably talk about everything. And we were talking about that earlier as well, where both of you will feel very comfortable in your communication with each other, and your communication will be pretty big, like a big part of your relationship. So I think you'll literally talk about anything and everything, to the point where you're tongue-tied, or you're literally like talking over each other, or falling over each other in that sense. We have the Four of Crystals, bottom of the deck. Again, commitment, engagement, celebration, happiness, a happy home life for some of you. Even the Four of Pentacles talks about home. So you could literally feel like they're your home. Feel like, oh, I could have a healthy home with this person, or like they feel like home to me. Let's see, what will you do together for group number 2 and this person? What will they do together? Oh my God, the Ace of Cups. You have the Ace of Cups, you have the Two of Cups. There's that bird again. A bird that's like in flight could be significant for this connection. It could be like a spirit animal, or just like a sign and synchronicity. If you see like birds that are like in this flight, whether it's an image of a bird in flight like that, or you literally see a bird or many birds flying around you, I think that's definitely a sign about this relationship. Again, with the Ace of Cups, oh my God, Ace of Diamonds, bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups, I mentioned her earlier. King of Cups, oh my gosh, come on. Can we like get any more obvious that this is your soulmate? We literally have soulmate card, we literally have counterparts, and then we have the Ace of Cups, and then the Ace of Pentacles, and I was talking about the Ace of Pentacles earlier. Yeah, so I think, so what you guys will do together, I think this will be a very just like nurturing time between the two of you. Again, I'm not seeing like specifically what you could be doing together. I do think it could involve some kind of an activity. So like maybe during your first date or the first meeting here, or maybe even like as you guys hang out regularly. I definitely see like physical activity. So you could like go out and do physical activity. You could have physical activities together. You could do just a lot. I'm seeing like, I see a good balance of like, okay, we're talking, we are emotionally connecting with each other, but we're also maybe like physically doing stuff together. So I'm thinking of like mini golf or like activities that you can do. But I'm really seeing a good balance of everything, like emotional, mental, physical. Wow, I love it. And yeah, counterparts. I mean, King and Queen of Cups. So let's end off with any messages and advice from your guides regarding this connection. Any messages or advice for group 2 regarding this connection? Step out of your comfort zone is the first thing I'm hearing with the Page of Wands here, the Page of Crystals. Step out of your comfort zone. And that's kind of what we're talking about here too. It's like the moment you're starting to like work on yourself or see yourself in a different light or put yourself in a new environment, that's when you are really like attracting and getting the ball rolling for spirit to kind of like bring you guys together. So I'm really hearing that like you need to step out of your comfort zone. There's that Wheel of Fortune again. Stepping out of your comfort zone, but also realizing that like to follow your intuition, to follow signs and synchronicities, because there is a level of like divine timing, divine intervention here. So the universe is taking you somewhere. They are like, you know, they're calling you to go somewhere. So listen to your intuition, follow your callings, or follow wherever you feel like you need to go, but really step out of your comfort zone. I feel like that's an important message. Anything else? Any other messages? Oh my gosh, we have the Lovers. I'm telling you, I feel like we can't get any more obvious now that we're talking about your soulmate. But we have the Lovers, and then we have the Seven of Cups. I do think the Seven of Cups was in the reverse though, and I feel like the message here for you is don't overthink it, you know, like especially if it feels right, it feels like a genuine situation, it feels healthy, like don't overthink it and don't try to ruin it, because the moment like we overthink things or we don't believe it, whatever, like that's when we start to ruin the situation. So spirit really wants you like embrace it, accept it, like this is a good healthy connection, and try not to overthink the situation. Or and they're also saying like there doesn't need to be an answer for everything, you know, like you don't have to like be a detective and like nitpick every single thing and find an answer or a clue for every single thing. They're saying like just let it be, you know, don't try to control it, don't try to figure everything out, don't overthink it, just like allow it to happen naturally, because that's like the plan, is it's gonna unfold naturally, and it is meant for you, and they want you to enjoy it and be happy with it. So yeah, so whether you know who this person is, whether you don't know who this person is, this is what I am seeing. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say. For those of you who already know who this person is, you could be like meeting in a mutual place that's in a new location. So say if like you already know this person, right? And maybe you're traveling somewhere, or you're going to school somewhere, or you're working somewhere else, then it could be that you both meet at like a new mutual place, or like they come to you or you go to them. There's definitely traveling involved in this environment, whether you know them or you don't. But yeah, I think everything else you can kind of adjust the messages to if you know them or if you don't know them and all of that. So, okay, group number 2, thank you guys so much for letting me give you this reading. I hope it was fun to listen to. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was accurate, or it made sense, at least, you know, to some extent. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I do have a Patreon if you're if you're interested in exclusive content, and the viewers on Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings. So go ahead and check that out. The link to it is in the description below. But take good care of yourself, you guys. Have a great rest of your day or night. And yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this Ace of Cups with the Fountain Tarot and this White Aventurine, this is your group. Hello, group number 3. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you guys for all of your support. I am so excited to sit here for this reading today. So let's talk about everything we're going to be discussing. This is all about the next time you see them. So this could be whoever it is that you have on your mind. And I actually want to say, this could even be somebody that you don't really know that well, or somebody that you don't really know at all, because after doing some of the other groups, I was kind of getting like, for some of you, it could be an energy that's like lingering, or maybe you don't really know this person that well. So it definitely doesn't have to be somebody that you know really well and that you're like waiting on, because it could kind of be a surprise. So we're going to start off with an energy check. We're going to see what is your current energy, what is your person's current energy, and what is the energy of the connection itself. And then the energy check is a good way for you to know if this is your group or not. So if it doesn't sound like you and it doesn't sound like your energy, then go ahead and check out a different group. So then we're going to go ahead and see what your guides have to say about the connection. We'll also go ahead and see who will initiate your next meeting. We will see what are the events leading up to the meeting, what is the environment/setting of this meeting. We'll see how you'll feel when you see them and how will they feel when they see you. And then we'll see what you'll talk about, what you'll do together, and any messages and advice from your guides. So there is a lot to talk about today, group number 3. So let's go ahead and get started. So this group is going to be your energy, and this is going to be their energy, and this is the energy of the connection. You guys actually got some extra cards for like this and this, so I just kept everything. But if you feel like the energies are switched, so that means that you're over here and they're actually over here, that's okay. And you could also be mirroring each other. That is totally fine as well. But just for the purposes of how I shuffle the cards, I'm going to read this as your energy and this is as their energy. And like I said, if this doesn't resonate, then definitely check out a different group. So for your energy, we have I am yours. All right, hopefully all my cards are going to fit. We have the 7th house. And then we have the 12th house. And they're like opposites. Well, maybe that would be opposite. I'm pretty close to being opposites if they're not. Okay. We have the Page of Swords. And okay, and you have Patience with a number 14. Okay, let's go ahead and see what is this person's energy. So this is their current energy towards this connection. We have Can We Meet? First quarter moon. The 7 of Swords. Both of you got swords here. And then we have accelerated motion with the number 8. And 8 plus 8, oh, it's 16, not 14. That's okay. Okay. This is interesting. This could actually be an energy of somebody you don't know that well, or maybe even an energy of somebody you've never met, but you're picking up on them energetically. So it's kind of like your soulmate vibes, or somebody that you're picking up in the 5D, but you don't exactly know who they are just yet. Because I feel like you are very curious about who this person is or who this energy is, but you're already like falling in love with them, or you're already like daydreaming about them, or you're already like in this energy of like, either you know like you're picking up on your soulmate, but you just haven't like met them in the 3D, or it's like you're falling in love with the energy that you are meeting, or you're really falling for this energy. I don't know how else to put it. With the 7th house, this talks about, you know, commitment, marriage, partnerships, love, all of that. And then the 12th house, it's a bit of like a subconscious energy. I can even see this as like daydreaming about your soulmate, daydreaming about your partnership with this person, daydreaming about your relationships with this person. But it's kind of feeling like relationship and partnerships with some kind of a subconscious energy where it's kind of like in your head or in your energetic grid, or just like it's in your energy. And maybe it's not necessarily here in the 3D just yet. But with the I am yours, it really just feels like you're already theirs. You're already like ready for them. You're already ready for this commitment with them. Now, if this is somebody that you know, because I am getting a lot of daydreaming vibes, so that's why I was figuring maybe you don't know who this is. But if this is somebody that you know, it could just be that you're really daydreaming about them. You know, like you already know who they are. You know that you want to be with them. You feel that very strongly. And you're kind of daydreaming, maybe having fantasies about this person. And I think you're very curious as to like maybe what's going on with them, because this curiosity here with the Page of Swords, that's what's making me feel like maybe you don't know this person that well and you want to. So that's why it could be that somebody that you are like, you see them physically in your world and you are daydreaming about them and you really want to be with them and you're fantasizing about it. Or this could be somebody that you're picking up energetically. So you're very curious about who this energy is, but you already know that like they are your soulmate, or you already know that it's something to do with emotions, but it's like in your subconscious. So it's like in the 5D, but you already know it's something to do with a relationship that could potentially be coming into your life. So you can take this in those two scenarios. That's like what I'm seeing. And I think either way, you're staying very patient, because I think you're just like waiting. You know, if this is somebody that you know of, you're waiting for them to kind of come around or give you the attention or give you the opportunity to be with them or give you the opportunity to get to know them. It's like you're kind of waiting. And then if this is not somebody in your physical reality, then it's like you're waiting for this person to come into your life. Like you feel them energetically and you're daydreaming and fantasizing about them, but you're waiting for them to come into your life. Interesting. Yeah, so it's a general reading, so please take that however it might resonate. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like Neptune energy. And Neptune is not, it's like with that Piscean energy, it's very like fantasy. It's very like daydreamy. I don't know how else to describe it. And what's so interesting about this connection and what I see on this person's side is I think they feel it too. So that's why I'm not saying you're completely delusional or anything like that. I think, yes, you fantasize about it and you dream about it and you are patient and you want it, but I don't think you're delusional, because I do think that to some extent they feel it too, but I think they are trying to dismiss it. So that's why it's interesting that this first quarter moon is like a 50-50 energy, because it's like part of their intuition is pointing them to you and pointing them in the direction of this connection or what this connection could be. But then I think the other part of them is dismissing it. So maybe for some, like somehow you for sure know that something is going to work out. So maybe you're very intuitive and you just like already know that this is your person and they're going to come around and you're going to be together at some point in time, which is why you're staying patient. Or it's like that intuitive energy where you don't know who they are, but you sense it very strongly that this person is coming into your life. So either way, I feel like you are very sure about this connection, whether you know them or you don't. Now, this person is like 50-50, whether they know you or they don't know you. I think it's the same energy. They're like dismissing it, but then they're like open to it and they see the signs and synchronicities, or they see that their intuition is pulling them somewhere, but then they sometimes dismiss it or they fall back on dismissing it. I don't know if they think it's too unrealistic or if it seems a little like crazy because it's like all the signs and synchronicities. Like, I don't know if it's like their intuition is freaking them out, or if they have totally just convinced themselves that like a relationship with you is not real. But it does feel like an energy of like they can't hide it much longer. I feel like with the Seven of Swords, you know, they have tried to dismiss it. They've tried to tell themselves it's no big deal. It's whatever. Like, I'll move on. Let's just keep going. This is nothing. Like, it's like they've been feeding themselves these kind of messages for a while. But I feel like with the accelerated motion, this being the Eight of Wands, it's like picking up pace. So I don't know if you guys are like energetically in the same location, or you will be coming into the same location sometime soon. So then it's like, you know, energetically they can't deny that they are being pulled to somebody, or if it's like just in general their intuition is pointing them to a lot of signs and synchronicities about you, whether they know you or they don't. So it's like it's picking up the speed and they can't deny it anymore, which is why we end up with this energy of like, can we meet? Like, what's going on with you? I think they're very curious about you as well. There is this genuine curiosity that's in both of your energies. But I think for some reason they are a little hesitant. 1111 all the time as I was saying that. For some of you, it's possible you're not in the same physical location, and that's why maybe it seems a little unrealistic because you're kind of far away from each other, or it's just like something about it could seem a little unrealistic. Let's see what is the kind of like the overall energy of the connection itself. We have the King of Trees with Architect. So this is the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, and we have the Two of Hearts with Union. So this is the Two of Cups. There definitely is something going on here. For the overall energy of the connection to be the Two of Cups, which is a soulmate energy, you know, it's a like deeply rooted love energy here of two people coming together. King of Pentacles is a very slow energy. It takes time. There's also this level of like trying to stay realistic as well. So I feel like the energy of the connection is like there is this strong pull towards each other, but it's very slow. And because it's moving so slow, maybe that's why this person tends to dismiss it. And because it's moving a little slower, maybe that's why you're very curious about it. And like staying patient because you're like, when is it going to happen? But I do think both of you are feeling this tug and pull towards each other without like being able to explain what it is. And then for those of you, if this is somebody that you are currently in a relationship with, I think the energies are still the same. Like, this person is still feeling this way, you know, very excited, daydreaming about it, fantasizing about it, staying patient for it, but they know that this is what they want. And then for this person, it's still that energy of like dismissing it, 50-50. They're trying to deny it, but the energy is gaining momentum. So whether you don't know who they are or you do know who they are, I think that is the energies that I'm seeing here. But there is stability. I mean, the energy of the connection, it's very stable, and there is potential for it to be stable. There is potential for it to grow into something. And I think both of you are feeling the same energies, but you're both taking it in different ways. This person is embracing it and is ready for it and is even fantasizing about it. But then this person is kind of like maybe freaked out about it. They feel like, you know, slightly nervous about it, or they're overwhelmed by it, so they're dismissing it. But it's like the exact same energies. Aw. But yeah, there is a strong tug between the two of you. Okay. So this kind of sounds like what's going on, then definitely stick around. If not, then check out a different group. Ooh. The World. This was supposed to be like messages and advice from Spirit, but since that kind of popped out, let me just get another card to clarify the world. Messages. Oh my gosh. You got the first card in the Major Arcana and then the last card in the Major Arcana. Oh yeah, I definitely think Spirit is trying to let you know, whether you're on this side of embracing it or whether you're on this side of dismissing it, I think Spirit is trying to let you know, like, there is something here. Like, you're not going crazy and you're not delusional. It just almost feels like yeah, I think it feels like it's not the right time yet or something like that. We will get into the cards a little bit more, but I mean, we have the Magician, which is the start of a cycle, and then the World, which is the end of a cycle. There could also be distance between you guys, like you could be in different cities, different states, different countries. There could be a whole, you could be on the other side of the world. But I think this is a confirmation that your intuitive hits and the signs and synchronicities are pointing you somewhere, and they are pointing you to a soulmate, whether you know them or you don't know them. But I do think there's something here about timing, that it might not happen right away, or there is some time before this union can happen. Okay, let's go ahead and answer the question. So who will initiate your next meeting? So for group 3, who will initiate your next meeting? Oh my gosh, the Lovers. This is definitely Spirit. So Spirit is initiating something between the two of you and is bringing the both of you together. So actually, I'm going to move this. So they are bringing the two of you together. I don't think this is something that one or the other initiates. Okay, so the universe is bringing you guys together. So then let's see, what are the events leading up to your next meeting? And this is whether you know them or you don't know them, you know. So what are the events or event leading up to your next meeting? Oh my gosh, we have the Magician again. We have the Queen of Cups and we have the Magician. So an event or events leading up to this union between the two of you, or the next time you're meeting them or the first time you're meeting them, is starting a new project. So it's interesting, we have the Magician out here twice. So I think you're starting something new. And we even said the Magician is the start of a new cycle and the World is the end of the current cycle, but you're starting something new. And this card technically came out first. So technically the order it came out in is the World, a cycle is ending and a new cycle is beginning. So I think an event leading up to the union or the divine orchestration of your union is that you are ending some kind of a chapter in your life and you're starting a new chapter. And you're very emotionally fulfilled in this new chapter. And you're very just happy and you're excited and you're working hard towards this new chapter. And you're like walking away from the past. And I think that puts you in a spot energetically to where the universe now knows, okay, like they're ready for union with this person. But it does feel like you have to end a cycle or end a chapter in your life. And with the Magician coming out twice, it does feel like a physical thing that you could be starting. So like I said, a new project, you could be starting a new career, you could be starting school, starting a new course, picking up a new hobby, something like that. It does feel like you're starting something physical. And you're putting a lot of time and effort into it and you really like it. Okay, so then what is the environment or setting of your next meeting? I'm just gonna move this down here. There we go, that's better. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what is the environment or setting of this next meeting. Oh, the Six of Cups. There's a lot of love here. Another six. The Six of Swords. For this new chapter, you could definitely be moving as well. Wait, Six of Cups and the Six of Swords. The environment and or setting. There could be water involved in the place you meet, or you could literally be on a boat party, or just a boat surrounded by water. This could even be during your travel process, like at the airport or on your way to somewhere. Like it feels like you're actively in the process of traveling or moving. And I think the environment will be a very like comforting, warm, and cozy environment. You could even be drinking like hot chocolate or coffee or tea. And it's like a very laid back. This could even be a cafe at the airport. Like it's a very laid back environment, and you might not be dressed super nicely because you're like in casual, comfy clothing because you're traveling. Like that's what I'm seeing is like a very casual, laid back environment. And you're drinking something hot, maybe to stay awake, and you're in the process of traveling. It could be during a layover, and maybe that's like part of this new project that you're starting, or this new chapter in your life. Maybe you get a new job somewhere else, maybe you start school somewhere else, but it does feel like you're meeting this person at an airport or in some kind of a layover situation, and you're dressed very comfy. And I'm even seeing you thinking like, oh gosh, I don't look good right now. But then they obviously think you look very nice. And you're in a transition from going from one place to the next. Yeah, it could totally be at an airport. And even the world is out here. Interesting. Okay, so then how will you feel when you see them? And that was fast. Page of Cups. And then let's see, how will they feel once they see you and meet you? These cards are just flying. Aw, Ace of Swords and the Four of Cups. It feels like you bring them the one thing that they've been looking for in life. Because the Ace of Swords, it's clarity. It's clarity, it's that breakthrough, it's the thing you've been waiting for, looking for. And Four of Swords can talk about being complacent. And in this energy, we see he's kind of in a dark room. He's kind of sad, you know? So these together, like this person feels like you are like that joy, that spark, that clarity that they've been seeking. It's like the missing piece to their puzzle is how they feel when they meet you. You just like light up the room, light up their world, or you're like really funny, or I also feel like you're stimulating them intellectually and they really like that. I think you guys are really funny together, or you make this person laugh a lot, or you have like really good conversations when you first meet them. So that's why they feel like, oh, you're different. With the Page of Cups, this is a cute energy. I feel like you are gonna feel like you can be yourself with this person. You can like come out of that box, come out of that shell, and like be your authentic self. You can say the jokes you want to say, you can do what you want to do, you can wear what you want to wear. Even though you're just meeting them, I think you instantly feel very comfortable with them, and that you could be your true self around them. So there is like a bit of like an emotional satisfaction that you feel, that both of you feel, just from this initial meeting of each other. Okay, so then let's see, what will you talk about? Four of Coins. Bottom of the deck, Two of Wands. You'll talk about your current changes or whatever your current plans are. But that's how it came through, your current changes in life. So if you are in a transitional period, I think you'll talk about that. They'll probably tell you what their transitions are or what they're doing right now. It's interesting though, because with the Four of Coins, I'm immediately thinking about home. So I think you'll like maybe have some deep talks, you know, talking about your home life, talking about your childhood. Like, this definitely doesn't feel like surface level conversations. And even with the Two of Wands, it feels like you're talking about your hopes and your dreams. You're talking about where you came from and where you want to go. You talk about how your experiences has shaped your viewpoint and has affected how you view everything and affected your goals and your dreams. It's like, it seems like a very intense conversation. But I also think you talk about your mutual hobbies. With the Two of Wands, there's a lot of excitement here. So I think you're very like-minded. You could have similar hobbies, similar talents. Maybe you even have similar careers, or you're studying the same thing. There's a lot of similarities that you'll be talking about. But there's definitely like a lot of excitement as well. Let's see, what will you do together? I'm literally just imagining you guys just sitting at an airport bar, or sitting at an airport cafe or a lounge, just like laid back, hanging out, drinking some coffee. It's a very nice laid back environment. And I know an airport is very, very specific. So if it's not an airport, maybe it's like right after you move somewhere or right after you go somewhere. That could also be it. Okay, what will you do together? Eight of Swords in the reverse. Can we clarify the Eight of Swords in the reverse? Oh, interesting. Seven of Coins in the reverse. I think what you'll do together is you will come out of your comfort zone in this setting or in this meeting. And you won't take it so seriously. Like, you'll come out of your comfort zone and you'll just like be very casual. So maybe like casual conversations, or if you're physically meeting somewhere, maybe you come out of your comfort zone a little bit. You're just like not overthinking. I know this is supposed to be what you'll do together, but I think together you guys will like just come out of your comfort zone, be your authentic selves, not take the meeting or the date too seriously. Yeah, you're like not taking anything seriously, but it's like in a really good, lighthearted way. You like have open conversations, you get to know each other really well without overthinking it and without getting nervous or holding back. But I think essentially whatever you guys do, it involves kind of coming out of your comfort zone. Maybe this is even like talking to a stranger at a bar, right? At an airport bar or wherever you are. Like, talking to strangers definitely requires you to come out of your comfort zone. Okay, so then let's get messages and advice from your guides. Any messages and or advice for group 3? Aw, the Knight of Cups. Messages and or advice for group 3. Oh my god, these cards are just flying. We have Five of Wands in the reverse. The Devil in the reverse. The message for group 3 regarding this connection is don't overthink it. And another group got a similar message. It's like, don't overthink it, because then you're just going to cause it to like, you're going to cause chaos, or you're going to cause some friction. There's a need to just go with the flow, and if you have feelings or if you feel good about the situation, then to follow it and to see it through. But it's like, don't try to fight it and don't try to overthink it, because once you start to build friction regarding a situation or you're overthinking it, that's kind of the same message here too, of like coming out of your comfort zone and not taking it too seriously. Because the moment you do that, it might get messed up, you know? You might overthink it and you might not even show up, or you might not even talk to them, or whatever it is. There's a need for you to go with your flow, go with the flow, and listen to your intuition. And really, like, don't get in your head about it. Because then you might not do it. You might not go through with it if you're overthinking it. And if it's meant for you, then you might just be pushing it further and further away until, you know, you finally end up in that situation where you're not overthinking it. Now, I'm trying to think, if you already know this person, then I would say everything else could be the exact same. But the only message that could possibly be different is if you already know who this person is, then this meeting setting environment thing, it probably wouldn't be an airport, but it would just be like a casual setting somewhere in town that the both of you will show up at. Because we already talked about that the universe is bringing you guys together. So it's like everything else is still kind of the same, of the same things you feel and talk about and this and that. But I would say instead of it being like an airport, it would just be a more laid back environment that's like similar to that. And maybe even just a coffee shop or something like that. But with the Six of Swords, you could still definitely be in some kind of a transitional period, even if you know them and, you know, all that. Okay, I hope that made sense. Group number 3, please just filter the messages however it makes sense to you, just because it's a general reading, so sometimes I get thrown off when I'm trying to like answer for every single scenario, which I can't really do that all the time. But thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. And if you're interested in exclusive content, I have a Patreon where the viewers get to suggest the monthly readings. So the link to that is in the description below if that is something you're interested in. And if not, that's totally okay. Take good care of yourself, you guys. Have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, if you chose the Shadowscapes Tarot with the World card and this pyrite crystal, this is your group. Hello, group number 4. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for all of your support. Oh yeah, we'll keep her up there. I'm gonna go ahead and move this deck to the side, and then we will talk about our reading today. Okay, so we are going to be talking about the next time you see them, and this is whoever is on your mind. We're going to go ahead and look at the current energies as our energy check to see what is your energy, your person's energy, and what is the energy of the connection. So if the current energies sounds like you and it sounds like what you guys are going through or whatever the situation is, then definitely stick around and watch the rest of the reading. But if you feel like the current energy does not sound like you and this is not your energy, then definitely check out a different group. So then we're going to start off with that, and then we're going to see what do your guides have to say about this connection. We will also see who will initiate your next meeting. We'll see what are the events or event that is leading up to this next meeting. We will see what is the environment / setting of the meeting. We'll also see how will you feel about them when you see them, and how will they feel about you when they see you. We will also see what will you talk about, what will you do together, and we will get some messages and advice from your spirit guides. So that is everything we're going to be talking about today. It is definitely a lot. So let's go ahead and get started. This is our energy check here first. This is your energy, this is your person's energy, and then this is the energy of the connection itself. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And then after that, we'll keep going. I do want to say one thing about the World card here. So the World card is the last card in the major arcana, and it really indicates the end of a cycle and like you're closing a chapter. So I feel like for some of you, again, this doesn't have to be for everybody, because I definitely choose cards just for the imagery or the colors, or just it's very pretty to me. So I don't always choose a card for what it means. But for those of you who, you might resonate with this energy, you might not, but I do feel like for some of you, you could be closing out this cycle or closing out a chapter within this connection. I'm also seeing like a protective layer around you. I don't know why it's coming through like that. Like I'm seeing a huge bubble around you, and it's like protecting you. You're protecting your energy, or you're focusing on more internal healing or more internal themes in your life, and there just seems to be like something is closing out in regards to this connection, or this chapter, or whatever the situation is. But again, that doesn't have to be for everybody. So yeah, okay, let's keep going. So First, I do want to start off with this pile over here. This is going to be your energy and your current energy towards the connection. But also keep in mind, if you find yourself on this side, that's totally okay. You can definitely switch the energies, and you guys could also be mirroring each other. So, but for the intended purposes, I'm going to read this as your energy. I'm going to read this as their energy. Okay, so let's get started. So for your energy, wow, we have heal yourself first. That's crazy because that's definitely what I was feeling for some of you. We have Libra. Oh, I want to move this one inside. We have the Star. And then we have Wisdom. Okay, wow. Yeah, that makes, okay, oh my God, I can't talk. I'm already tongue-tied. That makes a lot of sense because I was already feeling a very like internal, a very deep healing energy from just this card and kind of from this group itself. So it makes sense that like this would be your energy, and it is pretty intense. It's a pretty deep energy. This is not surface level. I will get into it in a second, but let's go ahead and see what is your person's energy towards this connection. We have, I think about us a lot. We have the lunar eclipse. All right, solar eclipse. We have the Knight of Wands. And then we have moving on with the number 6. Okay, I feel like for this person's energy, it does feel like they were almost like forced to move on in a sense. Like, I feel like they don't necessarily want to move on from this connection, especially with the message of I think about us a lot. I don't think they want to move on, but I think they were maybe forced to move on, or maybe you were the one that walked away, so they feel like, okay, now I have to move on, or I don't really have a choice. I'm definitely seeing like energetic incompatibilities. I feel like for this energy here, they seem a bit immature for this person that's coming through for your reading. They feel a bit immature because we have the Knight of Wands. And I feel like maybe they just didn't change, as a person. Maybe there were certain things in the connection, or this could even be a friendship for some of you. From what I'm seeing so far, this does not have to be strictly romantic. This could definitely be a platonic connection. This could even be family members. But it does feel like this person didn't really change, or they're still stuck in their old ways, or they're really immature. And I feel like they're also not really open up to spirituality, or they're not really like aware of certain things. But you don't have to be spiritual to heal as a person, but I think this person, there's just something about their energy of being a really immature, and they're just not progressing in that sense. Like, they could be physically getting older in life, but their maturity level, or the way they act, the way they think, the way they carry themselves, the activities they partake in, like everything about this person just feels like they're still stuck as like a teenager or as like a younger individual, even though they are getting older. And it almost feels like for your energy, like you have outgrown them in like every sense possible. You've outgrown them emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. Like, it feels like you're just on a much different wavelength than this person, and that's why it's not coming through as like strictly romantic. This could be a romantic relationship, but this could even be friends. We outgrow friends all the time. We outgrow family members all the time as well. So this could be anyone, but it does feel like you have given them many chances. Like, this is not somebody that you were just like one and done with, but I think that you gave them the benefit of the doubt multiple times. You've given them multiple chances, but it's like they never changed. They never worked on themselves. They never healed. They never got better. And I think that as you were healing and as you are developing into the person you are meant to be, they would just like bring you down. They would just like ruin your progress, or they would just like, yeah, like they would like bring you back. They would like drag you back to your old self or who you used to be. An example I could give you just right off the bat that I'm thinking of is like a friendship where this person is like the toxic friend, and say you're trying to heal and you're trying to better your life, but then they continue to partake in toxic habits. Like, maybe they drink a lot, maybe they do drugs, and just negativity and toxicity. and you are like working really hard to overcome that aspect of your life, or to change as a person and really like move on with your life and not, you know, live the previous life you used to live. But then every time you're around this person, they just like, you know, they're just drinking, they're doing drugs, like they're doing certain things where that toxicity is still surrounding them. So then you feel like, oh my God, like I'm working so hard on myself, but every time they're around, or every time I hang out with them or bring them back into my life, they just like remind me of my previous self, and they're not changing. You know, and I do feel like in a sense you pulled yourself away from this person because they were just not, they were not fixing themselves on their own. And I think you gave them many chances, and I think you really try to talk to them and like help them understand, you know, that you and them are like, they need to work on certain things and you're trying to better yourself. Like I feel like you've told them that many times, but they maybe like didn't get it. It really feels like your energy was the one to pull away from this connection. I think this person misses you a lot, you know, they miss your companionship, they miss your friendship. If this was a romantic relationship, I could see your energy as like the one that woke up one day and realized a toxic relationship is not for me. You know, like you realize like you have to heal, you have to work on yourself, and you don't want to be a part of a toxic connection with a toxic individual. And toxicity can mean so many different things, but it's like you are so above that. You know, like one example I can give, if this is about a romantic reading, is that like this would be the type of person that would still like sleep around with people, or like have hookups, or they couldn't give up certain things when they're in a relationship. Like they couldn't give up certain things for you, or they couldn't act a certain way, they couldn't commit to you, and you are just like the one receiving the back end of things, the toxicity of it, the abuse of it, whether it's mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. It's like, you know, so this could have been a totally toxic relationship to where they were never going to change, and you realize that you have to walk away from this connection in order for you to better your life. I think with this being a lunar eclipse here, you know, the moon is overtaking the sun, and the moon talks about our intuition, and then the sun talks about our ego. I do think in the sense here, I think after you truly like cut ties with this person or walked away from them, because this person, I think they assumed you would always be there. Maybe because you've been around for a long time, maybe you've been giving them the benefit of the doubt for a very long time, like they just assumed you will always be there. So when you finally packed up your stuff and you walked away from them, I think it like hit them that, oh, maybe I am the problem, maybe I do have something to work on. Because if I pushed this person away, then I think that like I, maybe there is something that I did. But I think it's like 50-50. I don't think they're that that intuition with that moon energy, I don't think that is like their entire energy right now. But I do think they have little bits and little moments from time to time where they do think about like, oh, maybe it is me. Maybe I do have to reflect. Maybe I do have to work on myself a little bit. But with the Knight of Wands here, again, there's that egotistical, just immature energy that is still coming through. So I feel like they're 50-50. I don't think they have changed completely. Um, but I think they're like maybe making process or progress a little bit. But it's definitely not where you're at. I can definitely see that you both of you are on two different wavelengths. Like you are up here, they are down here, and it's like you can't mix and match. Like we can't make the frequencies mix if we're in two different frequencies, right? So it feels like you are just in a completely different wavelength than this person is. But I do think they miss you a lot. I think they think about you a lot, and but I do think that they have a big ego, and I think their ego gets in the way. Like even if their intuition tries to creep in, or you know, their mind and their emotions like try to tell them like, oh, maybe we need to work on something, maybe like we're the problem, I think their ego does take over to some extent and still like kind of fights that off. And yeah, so it just almost feels exhausting to like deal with somebody like this. And I think that you can only really take so much of this person's energy. And I think I almost feel like saying like you gave them plenty, like you gave them more than the average person would probably give them, or you like gave them the benefit of the doubt more times than a person should. So I think you like did enough. Yeah. But I love your energy here. So this is very nice. And um even with Libra here, I do feel like you're really trying to balance out your life, and I think you're trying to be like practical about it, but also, you know, have that emotional and spiritual development as well. But I do think you're finding a good balance in your life. We have wisdom here. This is the Hierophant. We have the star here, which is also a very deeply rooted healing energy. I think you have realized, like, I can live a better life, or I can be a better person. I can have better partners. I can have better friends. I can have better family. You know, I think you've realized that you've kind of, it's like you're seeing your situation in a different light, or you're seeing yourself in a different light. I think it's almost like you've just had enough, you know, and I think you're realizing, like, I can do anything with my life. Like, I have opportunities, I have options. I It almost feels like you're waking up one day and you realize, like, I don't have to be a part of this. And I really think you're putting yourself first, and I think you're healing and you're really taking care of yourself in all aspects of your life, which is very nice. I also think you're possibly going through a spiritual awakening right now, or a dark night of the soul kind of an energy as well, because with wisdom here and even the star, it's really giving spiritual awakening, a spiritual journey. And spirit is saying, like, you are on the right path. Like, whether you're already in this energy, whether you're just waking up to this energy, it doesn't matter like where you are on the spectrum. But they're saying, as long as you're recognizing that this is toxic and you're part, or you were, or you are a part of something that is very toxic and not meant for you, as long as you're like getting the ball rolling into bettering yourself, then spirit is saying you are on the right path with this situation here. I also see that you were very patient with this person. I don't know why that's coming through, and I think I already mentioned that before, but you were just so patient with them. Like, for some of you, this could have been years of you trying to stay patient with this person. Um, but yeah. But I do think you're loving yourself. Now you're staying patient with yourself. You're healing yourself. And yeah, I really think you're doing really, really well in life right now. And these are two major arcana. So I think you're taking your own stability very seriously. You're taking your growth very seriously. And that actually makes a lot of sense for this, for your, that energy I was feeling with the World card, is that you are at the end of a cycle. 1111 on my timer as I'm saying that. I do feel like you are coming out of this, or you're closing the chapter, you're ending the cycle with this connection. And I think you are headed in a completely different path now. And spirit wants you to like realize that you brought yourself here. Like, you should congratulate yourself, give yourself a pat on the back, because you brought yourself out of that sinking hole. You brought yourself into a much better situation, and you're headed in the right direction. You could be reading a lot, or starting school, or gaining some level of education, or even just knowledge in general. That is coming through very strongly here. Okay, let's go ahead and see what is the current energy of the connection here. 8 of Hearts with codependency. So this is the 8 of Cups. I think it's very possible you could have been codependent. I definitely think this person is codependent on you in some way, because the energy of like they're being forced to move on. They think about you a lot. I do think they have been, and they still are codependent on you. But I think you used to be codependent on them, but then you had that realization. You had that like clarity one day, and you realized, wait, there's no love here. And all these cups are empty. There's no reason for me to be codependent on this person, because they're not giving me what I deserve in return. In traditional 8 of Cups, the person is seen walking away from 8 Cups. And the 8 Cups are all empty. There's no sustenance. There's nothing in them. They're just plastic or whatever. They're just empty cups, you know. There's nothing to gain from it. And I think you are waking up and realizing, I have been codependent on this person for a very long time. Or, you know, I think you're realizing, like, there was nothing to gain out of this relationship or out of this friendship, or even if this is like a family member, you're like, there was nothing for me to gain out of this. Those cups were empty. You were just codependent to some extent. Or for some of you, you know, codependency, it's so complex. You know, it's not just like a one faceted thing. It's so complex. And I think for some of you, you felt like that was the love you deserved. That was the companionship or the friendship that you deserved. For some of you, you felt like this is the only way you could be loved, you know? Like in the moment it felt good to you because you thought this was the only time you would receive love, or the only love that you would ever feel. But I think there was definitely an aha moment. I keep saying like you woke up. I keep using that analogy a lot, but I really think there was some clarity. I don't know how you received that clarity, but you literally woke up one day, had this clarity, and realized that everything about the situation was not right. And I'm also thinking about the song Flowers by Miley Cyrus, where she says, like, I can buy my own flowers, I can write my name in the sand, I can take myself dancing. I think for some of you, because that's how codependency works, like we think that when we pour our everything into this other person, they will give us what we want in return. And I think you were continuing to pour and pour into this person, but the cups were empty and you were not getting anything in return. I'm almost seeing it as like a cup with a hole at the bottom. Like we're pouring, 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 but it's just constantly spewing out at the bottom. It's never getting filled. So there's never that level of fulfillment. So there's never any emotional fulfillment. And I think you realize one day, like, I can buy my own flowers. I can take myself dancing. I can do all of this on my own and give myself love to pour my own cups. So I definitely think you had like a massive realization about that. And I think this is probably the type of individual to be codependent in general. Like if it's not you, I feel like they're just going to find somebody else or other people, you know? And I think that's how Spirit is telling you, like, that they're saying that's how you know they're just not meant for you anymore. That you're in a completely different wavelength. Look at that, the Empress, bottom of the deck. I love it. Nurturing yourself, loving yourself, healing yourself. There is a new level of abundance coming into your life, a new level of love, happiness, like everything. Everything changes once you decide to work on yourself and heal yourself. But let's go ahead now. So if that doesn't resonate with you, then definitely check out a different group, because this is a very specific message, might not be for everybody. But if that does resonate with you, then we're going to keep going. Let's see, what do your guides have to say about this connection? What do your guides have to say about this connection? Okay, 5 of Cups, bottom of the deck, and then we got the 6 of Cups. I mean, sorry, not 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands. 5, 6, so we see ascending numbers, so I think Spirit is definitely telling you that you are on the right path, because we are moving forward, we're not moving backwards. And I think they want to tell you that yes, like there is disappointment, there's sadness, because obviously, like, if you love somebody, if you really cared about somebody, if you were maybe even codependent on this person, there is sadness, you know, there's regret, there's disappointment when you have to walk away from that connection. But Spirit is saying, like, don't dwell on it too much and don't let it affect you too much, because you're going to be so successful and so victorious and so happy in this new chapter of your life. Like, this is nothing. Like, the situation that you have been dealing with, it's like absolutely nothing to what you are going to experience. And that's why they're saying, like, don't even waste your breath, don't even waste a tear, like, don't even be sad, because like you're about to reach so much abundance, so much happiness that you never thought was even possible when you were a part of this. So they're telling you, like, you don't need to be upset, you don't need to be sad about it at all. But they're saying being upset and being disappointed is a part of healing. So you can't just like wake up and you're not affected by it. Like, allow yourself to be affected by it, allow yourself to feel sad, to go through the emotions and to really heal, you know, and then you will be able to really progress in life as well. So they're saying, you know, don't just stick a band-aid on it. Feel the emotions, but don't let it hold you back. Okay, let's go ahead and answer all of our questions. So let's see, who will initiate your next meeting? For group number 4, who will initiate this next meeting? 8 of Wands. I definitely think this other person could possibly initiate this meeting. Maybe to just like check in on you or check up with you. I also feel like it could be the energy of like they could have been reaching out to you for a while leading up to that point. So then you finally just like, okay, let's just hang out. But then you know that you're pretty much like, you know, we'll see how you feel. But it almost feels like, because with the 8 of Wands, it feels like maybe they've been texting you repeatedly for like 8 days or 8 weeks, or like they were like consistently saying like, hey, like I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. But I do feel like it would be the other person, because I feel like the energy is coming towards you. So like the messages would be coming towards you, or the phone calls or the DMs or something like that would be coming towards you. So I do think the other person would initiate this. What is an event or events leading up to this next meeting? Knight of Cups. Let me actually clarify the Knight of Cups here. Can we clarify the Knight of Cups, please? Five of Cups. There's that 5 of Cups again. Oh, interesting. I think it's possible that you do miss them during this time, because maybe they had been reaching out to you for a while and one day you do kind of miss them and you're like, you know what, like it's been a while, maybe I'll just see what they're up to. But I do feel like you are in an emotional state where you do miss them during this time, or as an event that leads up to maybe you responding to them or something like that. I do think that like if you are receiving messages from this person, you let them sit in your phone for a while. Or like if you see the missed calls or whatever, it's like you let it sit for a while. I don't think you act on it immediately. And then I think maybe one day you feel sad about something, or you feel that codependency kicking in again, and you reach out to them, or like you respond back to them. But I feel like if they hadn't texted you first, I don't think you would have texted them or reached out to them. I do think it feels like you are responding to them. You could even be like drunk or like under the influence of something, maybe had like a few drinks and it brought up all these emotions again. Because with all these emotions here, there's a level of disappointment and sadness with the 5 of Cups. So it almost feels like, you know, when you have too many drinks or too much wine or something, and you kind of like miss somebody, or you get upset about something and you get a little emotional. I think that could be like an event. That's like what's happening, and maybe that's when you like reach back to them or something like that. But there is some like emotions here. Let's go ahead and see, what is the environment or setting of your next meeting? What is the environment or the setting of your next meeting? We have the 9 of Wands. Let's clarify. And then we have Temperance. The environment or setting. I think with Temperance, this would be a more relaxed environment. It would maybe even be kind of quiet, like not too loud, not too chaotic. This could be like a cafe. Maybe you're meeting up for a little lunch. This could even be like a picnic. Like I'm also seeing like nature for some of you. It could be like out having a picnic, or you could be like out on a walk or something, or in a place that's like not too crowded. And you're kind of like more alone with each other. You're not necessarily like with a bunch of other people. And with the 9 of Wands, it could definitely be a place that you used to go to with this person a lot. Because the 9 of Wands, you know, it's the energy of like repeatedly doing something again and again. So in this scenario, I'm just viewing it as like a place you used to go to a lot with this person in the past. So it has like good memories for you. But it could also be a place that's a bit more quiet or a bit more isolated, or maybe not many people know about this place. It's not super popular. Yeah, that's kind of what's coming through for that. So now let's see, how will you feel when you see them? How will you feel when you see them? How will group 4 feel when you see them? We have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking, even with when I saw this codependency card here, it really feels like you still have an emotional connection to this person. So even though like you know what the right thing is, you know that maybe they're not going to be who you want them to be, or the connection is not necessarily what you want it to be. I feel like even though like logically and spiritually you know all these things, I do think you're still emotionally connected to this person, which makes it really tough for you to detach, you know, because maybe you are still emotionally codependent on them to some extent. We have the 6 of Cups. Let's see, how will they feel when they see you? The Queen of Wands. And then bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. With the 6 of Cups, I definitely think you'll miss them. It's interesting, we were talking about a picnic and they're having a tea party like in the middle of the woods. So you could definitely have a picnic out somewhere in nature, but I think you will definitely miss them. You will reminisce about the past with this person. You'll reminisce about the things that you used to do and the things that made you happy and all of that, especially if like you were missing them recently or you were sad about something recently. It brings up a lot of like the good feelings back up. I think you feel very nostalgic, and yeah, I think you would genuinely miss them. And this is Scorpio energy as well with the 6 of Cups, so I do think it brings a lot of the emotions back. It brings a lot of the feelings back, because for some of you, or maybe even all of you, I do feel like there was distance before this meeting. It felt like maybe you already walked away and you weren't talking to them for some time or something like that. So it like brings everything back up, and I do think you guys catch up and you kind of like talk about what's happening in both of your lives, and I do think that you'll miss them. I think you'll definitely have a soft spot for them. And for how they view you, you have the Queen of Wands and the Fool. So with the Queen of Wands, I mean, they are very impressed by you and they're so physically attracted by you. They're just like, oh my gosh, like, look at you. You know, I think they're very much in awe of you. And I think they maybe always used to be in awe of you. So it like, for them, it brings up a lot of these feelings of like excitement. And I think they're very it's interesting though, because for you, you have emotions coming up for how you feel, and then for them, they have more of a physical or a like a fiery, passionate energy that comes up. It is two different energies. Like you're viewing them in a more emotional way, but they're maybe viewing you in a more passionate or yeah, like fiery, passionate, excited kind of an energy. But maybe I just wonder if there's any substance to that, you know, like emotions. Yeah, maybe we can build on that, maybe we can build some stability off of that. But if somebody is just viewing us out of passion or maybe even lust, or just like, you know, that excited feeling they get, like that excitement will fade, that spark will fade. So I just, you know, again, I don't know this person, but maybe they have changed, I don't know. I just question, how deep does this excitement run? You know, is it something that they're going to get bored of sooner or later? Is that spark going to fade? Is it going to be gone at some point? But I think they view you in a very, you know, they're very excited about it. They think you're very beautiful. They think that yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing. And like, you're very outgoing. It's like, it's fun to be around you, you know? Yeah, they have fun with you and they're excited, and it's a good energy to be around you. And then we see the Fool again. For this was their bottom of the deck energy. It just feels like they get really excited by seeing you, and they're like wanting to take that leap of faith towards you. They're wanting to make a move towards you. They're wanting to like have something new with you, because the Fool talks about some kind of a new beginning, and we already established that you possibly walked away from this person. So I think they like try to jump on that excitement, and they're like getting caught up in it. They like really want to start over or see where that excitement goes. It just feels like it's two different intentions as how it's coming through. So let's see, what will you talk about? What will group 4 talk about with this person? What will they talk about? Oh, the High Priestess. I think you're going to talk about how much you've changed. I think you're going to talk about your new perspective on life, how much you've grown, how much you've changed. Like, I really think you're like enlightening them. You are telling them things that are much deeper than it just being surface level. I think you could have a pretty deep conversation with them. I think, yeah, I do think you are telling them about like all the stuff that you have been up to, but all the growth that you have been up to as well, all the healing that you have been up to as well. And then I think it's possible they also tell you maybe if they've healed a little bit or not, but it does feel like a more deeper conversation than it just being surface level. I also think you talk about like what all you've learned in during that separation, or what all you've learned about yourselves in that time. And then let's see, what will you do together? What will group 4 and this person do together? 8 of Cups. That's that same card again. And the Hierophant. This really feels like you're really talking, having a deep conversation, even the way this tree is like sitting there. And we were even saying like this setting is very peaceful, it's not too chaotic, and you're talking about a lot of like deeper internal things. And with the 8 of Cups, again, that's making me think of like you're going somewhere you guys used to go together, or there are some like emotions tied to this specific place. You could even be going on a walk. I am seeing like leisurely movement, so going on a walk somewhere, like you're not moving too quickly, you're kind of taking your time, but we are like on a slow pace moving somewhere. So you could definitely be going on a walk with this person, or you could be just be sitting out somewhere, sitting on a picnic bench, sitting at a table outside, sitting, maybe even sitting on the ground somewhere, and just like having like deep conversations. Yeah, even with the High Priestess, I think you're mostly just gonna have like that catch up with each other energy, and it's like deep conversations, not just surface level. Okay, so then let's go ahead and see what are messages and advice from your guides, because this is where I'm leaving it. So I don't really know what's going to happen next. I feel like it's already a pretty long reading at this point anyway. So for some of you, I think, you know, you could go either way. For some of you, maybe you guys get back together. For others of you, maybe you want to be friends. Maybe you don't want to continue anything with this person. So I'm just going to leave it at this. But let's go ahead and see messages and advice from your guides. Any messages here? We have the King of Swords, and then let's clarify. Messages and advice for group 4. Let's clarify the King of Swords here. Owls could be significant. Let's clarify the King of Swords here. Okay, we have 3 cards that came out at the same time. We have the Moon, the Strength card, and the 7 of Swords. I think your ultimate advice here from Spirit is that you really need to be honest with yourself, and really think it through before you make any decision, but really try to think about like what this connection was like in the past, and be realistic, you know, be real with yourself. Is this going to change? Are we just repeating the same cycle again? Is it really going to be different this time? So I think you really need to think it through, be logical about it. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment, and really be honest with yourself, and like try not to lie to yourself in a way. And then the Moon and Strength, yeah, really going within. I think that like they don't want you to be impulsive about this. Let it take its time, because then you'll allow yourself to really like figure out the situation, figure out the energies, figure out if it's really something that you want. But I think with Strength and the Moon, yeah, it's a very slow energy. They really want you to tap into your intuition, tap into your spirituality a little bit, and continue to heal, continue to focus on yourself and work on yourself. And also think about, if you were to like go through with something, think about all the progress you might lose, you know? Because this could even be the energy of like, say you don't know if you want to respond back to this person, right? We don't have to even go through this entire series of events, because they're even saying like, even before you respond, think about, are you going to be losing all the progress you've made? Are you just going to end up going back to, you know, a situation that's not meant for you? So for some of you, even if they respond, or even if they text you, like, you don't even have to go past that. You know, you could dismiss it or delete it and move on with your life. So I think Spirit really wants you to like go within, because it's going to be a different answer for everybody. But okay, group 4, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. Thank you for letting me be honest with you. As you know, I'm an honest reader. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But yes, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. I do have a Patreon if you're interested in exclusive monthly readings, and the viewers on Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings, so it's personalized. And if that's something you're interested in, the link is in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. But you guys, take good care of yourself. Have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are, and please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.